just in case it's being recorded.
Yeah. Maya. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm so glad that you guys joined us. I know that summer can be kind of hectic. I know for us, I feel like we've been in town as much as we've been gone. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that you guys are the same. So I truly appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Monday in the summer with some of you having crazy kids or grandkids at home or all the things. So it really means a lot that you show up each week. Um, and show your face and talk and help and all the things. So last week we talked a lot about recruiting and how to utilize the $9 join special. And this week, um, because you guys requested it, we're going to talk about bag parties, parties on the go. For me, it's more feasible for me to do right now just because we're gone more than we are home, I feel like, just with SFR. And then I'm back for like 4 weeks and then go to Mississippi. And so it's just a lot. And so for me, I have to be really practical. And so I've been pushing bag parties a lot. I actually just got a bag party back a couple days ago and got submitted, and I'm almost to 1,000 PRV because of a good bag party that I did at a doctor's office. And so I actually have two of my bag parties because I just picked up that one and I had one that wasn't out. So I was going to show you both of mine. But first off, I wanted to share with you R3s in winter. I'm jealous. Oh, Patty, I bet you are. Um, First, I want to share with you how, we talked a lot about, if you're struggling to get orders, if you're struggling to get sales, um, people have to smell the scents. The scents um, will hook you, right? And so if they smell, it sells, basically. So if your sales have been crap, is it because you're just posting on social media? Is it because you're just messaging customers? And if it's just any of those two things, think about, okay, who have I gotten these scents under their noses lately? If it's been no one, well, of course your sales are going to stink because you can only hit up the same people, right? If you're not sharing this in the month, maybe you don't get this in the month, but if you're not sharing this in the month, if you're not sharing new scents coming out, the summer collections, just the spring, summer amazing scents, or fall, winter, if you're in region 3, if you're not sharing those scents, you're not going to get just a ton of orders. You're missing out. If they smell, it sells. So I really encourage you this week to push for bag parties, to push for pouch parties. I know Kathy's going to show us her little setup here in a little bit. But I encourage you to get the scents under people's nose. And I always think when someone reaches out to me to buy, if they're local or somewhat local, I always push for them to smell the scents because I know they'll buy more. For example, I think I told you guys about someone on our local Facebook page had asked about scentsy. There's anyone local that sells scentsy, well, it happened to be like 6:30 in the morning, and I was up, and I commented and I said, I'll message you. Well, she ended up being the manager at BC Clark, which is a big jewelry store here, it's about 15 minutes from where I live. And she was saying, we really like these two scents. If you could order us some. And I said, how about I bring you the smells? Because you said you need something clean for your store. Why don't I bring you the smells so you can actually pick out and see if there's something new that you like? Our summer spring collection's amazing. Guys, because of that, they ended up ordering $400 worth of stuff. I switched them over to the Air Quads. I got them to try two new scents they'd never tried in the pods. Before that, she was wanting to order like 3 6-packs of bars. So I went from 3 6-packs to now I sold two Air Quads and a bunch of pods. And so it's just, if people reach out to you because they want a certain scent, get the scents underneath their nose. Another example, I had a girl that messaged me and she said, do you have anything like the volcano scent? I don't know if you guys have heard of the volcano. Raise your hand if you're the volcano. I'm sure people have asked you. I get asked that about every other month. I need to smell this candle. I said, yes, we actually have a scent called Blue Grotto. A lot of customers say it smells just like it. And she's like, oh my goodness, I need it. I said, well, how about I bring over all the scents? I'll bring it to your work. And then you can smell the Blue Grotto, but also smell the other ones we have. I ended up getting a $120 order from her. So that 6-pack of Blue Grotto bars turned into way more. And guess what? She has two people up at her office that said once they get paid, they want to order. And so my point is that when people ask you about scents, when people say they need to order, Get the smells underneath their noses, right? That's where bag parties and pouch parties are so important. Don't just settle on the little cell. And my neighbor, I told you about my neighbor, I told you a couple months ago. I know I told Amy, but I had inherited a couple Scentsy Club members. And I was, writing thank you notes and texting. And I texted and I looked at her address and I was like, oh my goodness, she lives on Windmill Street. Oh my goodness, she's like 4 houses down. Amy, didn't I tell you about this? And I was like, oh my goodness. So I went, I had some fragrance flowers I got on clearance and I left her one and she loved it. Well, she just reached out to me to reorder. This is from her Scentsy Club. And she said, hey, I need some spring summer scents. What ones do you suggest? And she said, I want ones that I can also melt up at the daycare. And I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, how about what day do you work next? Do you work tomorrow? Let me bring them to your daycare. And so, anyway, so just things like that. I could have easily said, what smells do you like? Oh, do you like fruity? Do you like fresh? Okay, well, I think you'd love Luna. I think you'd love this, right? But it's always just, yes, Patty, Happy Meal works great too. It's always just taking it to the extra level, right? And I encourage you, in my mind, it's not always just buy, it's buy, host, join, right? So if they reach out to me and they say, hey, are there any specials going on right now? Or, hey, what smells like fresh linen? That's someone like, when do you work the next? Let me just bring you some stuff to smell. And I'm going to hook her on 4 or 5 other scents that she's going to love. And I'm hopefully going to get someone in her office to do the same. So always keep that in mind. Don't just settle on the sale. Don't settle on the sale, right? Always be pushing for more. Just like I said, that BC Clark order, I could have been like, yes, let me order you those 3 6 packs, and I will just, when they come in, I'll deliver them, blah, blah, blah. But instead, I was like, you need to smell all the spring stuff. Let me bring it up there to you. And then that turned into me like this, the place is like close to 3,000 square foot, their jewelry shop. And I was like, the warmer's not going to fill this up. You have 3 warmers. It's probably not going to do it justice. The air quad will fill up 1,000 square foot, and they were sold. And I followed up with her a week after and she said, we absolutely love the air quad. It smells up our shop so much better. We've had so many compliments. And so I actually asked her if I could come I said, I'll give you another like couple air or a couple pods for it if you will let me put out some business cards. And she said, absolutely. And so again, it's just taking that initial sale to even more orders to smelling. And then I told her, I said, okay, when y'all need more, I'll just bring you the testers that come in pods. Because last time she was smelling all of them, she's like, oh man, I can't remember which one she loved. She loved one of them, but didn't come in the pods and she was heartbroken. So before I go up there next time, I'm going to separate all the ones that just come in pods and I'm going to get her hooked on as many of them as I can. So let me show you. I know Kathy's going to show hers. Amy, I think may have wanted to show hers, but I've shown you guys this before, and sorry if I'm repetitive for some of you, but this is a diaper caddy on Amazon. It was $10 or $11. I'll post the link on Mindset Monday. It does have like the Velcro dividers, but they're so strong you can't tell. It's not flimsy. It's not weak. Again, this is a diaper caddy. They have pink, they have blue, all the cute little baby colors. So this is what I do for mine. Some people are super duper fancy. I do a lot of times in the spring, summer, I'll have about 4 or 5 bag parties, but I'll have only 2 complete sets. I usually have at least 1, sometimes 2 complete sets. Let me rephrase that. The rest of them are just spring, summer transitions. So, for example, this bag party is just, when we can order the transition sets going into the new catalog. That's all this is. So 3 of my bag parties are just transition sets. I don't put all the scents in there. Okay. So I put all the scents in there. I don't separate them. These are because there's not as many. I want to say there's like probably 25, 30. I then put order forms and I fill it out like a sample order form. I typically, what I do though, I'll tell my host, text me every time you get an order, and I'll just tell you what the total is. That just seems to work for me. A lot of people that repeat bag parties for me, they just do that. They'll send me pictures of all their orders and I'll give them totals and they'll write it on there. That just works for a lot of my hostesses. That may not work for you, but that just seems to work. I also put a bar in here, Italian Sunshine, which I love. It smells so good. I also put some dryer disc in here. I put a little scent pack, just they can see a little scent pack, different things. On the sample order form, I'll put my Venmo and my Cash App. I'll put write checks payable to me, and I'll put my name on there. I typically tell the host as well. Another thing too, a lot of my bag parties, I don't ask for a party. A lot of my bag parties start out by, hey, smell this, pass it around your work, pass it around to family and friends. If you can get to 250, you get free and half price items. So a lot of, I mean, I will ask for bag parties, don't get me wrong, but a lot of mine start out with, hey, here's the new spring summer transition sets. I don't know if you've smelled them. I mean, there's some like lemon lime but fizz that smells heavenly, or watermelon tangerine is one of my favorites. And so a lot of times I'll turn that into asking them if they want to pass this around work, get some orders. I'll typically only put like 4 or 5 catalogs. I don't put a lot of catalogs, and we're going to talk about that in here in a minute because in the fall it'll be different. So I want to make sure I touch on that. So that's one back party. This is another one. This is also from Amazon, but it's not 10 or $11. It is like 25. So if you don't want to spend that much, Diaper Caddy works great, or Kathy's going to show us her little setup here in just a minute. I am out of spring summer catalogs. So I'm using showcase brochures because I've got like 30 of them, and I don't want to waste stuff. So instead of ordering new catalogs, I used showcase brochures for this one and then one of my other sets. Same thing. This one has cute little pouches. It's got one on each side, and then in the middle is all my testers. So this has a room spray. It's got a bar of key lime and grapefruit. It's got a little oil. It's got a little buddy clip. It's got business cards. It also has a little join postcard that I put in all my bag parties. That's it. I don't put a lot of product. Um, I don't put, I don't know what that is. That's weird. I don't put a lot of extras in there. It's just my testers, a couple of different products they can see. Sometimes too, if I'm delivering to, say, a school or somewhere, a workplace where I know that there's a warmer. There's a doctor's office in Yukon that does a bag party about every 3 or 4 months. So I always put a bar in there, and I always tell the lady that gets it, Becky, I'm like, hey, go ahead and melt this bar in your office this week. And it's crazy because every time they turn in their orders, I sell a bunch of whatever bar I give them. So sometimes I'll say, if there's a bar in there, keep it, warm it, let me know what you think. So those are mine. They're very simple. Anyone can put them together. You can put them together tonight. A couple things. You don't need every scent to sell. You can literally have a bag party with 15 cents. If you do that, make sure it's a variety. Make sure they're not all clean. Make sure you have some clean, some fruities, maybe some spice, some hot man, mix it up a little bit. But you don't need all the smells. And here's why. A bag party isn't a sit down home party. The chance of someone smelling all, 70, 80 cents is slim, right? And that could be too many choices. They get overwhelmed and they don't pick anything. So I encourage you, when you do the bag party, less is more sometimes. So maybe do 20 cents. So if your money's tight and you're like, well, I can't have 4 bag parties or 5 bag parties like Jacqueline, that's okay. With one full set, you can make 3 bag parties. Just mix up the variety. You could make 4 if you wanted to. Now, real quick, before Amy and Kathy share what they want to share, I do want to touch on. So going into our fall catalog, I'm sure you guys saw the news article. We're going to have a very simplistic catalog. There's a couple reasons for this, and I think it's really important to hear the background information on it because I've got a lot of text and things like that on. Oh my gosh, like what are we going to do? And so a couple things. The reason why the catalog it's going to be like 16 pages. It'll be available August 16th or 15th. So before that, we'll have a digital version we can text out to customers. We can print if we want. We will also have a bunch of other little business tools that we can print to put in bag parties and things like that, since he's going to provide us with a ton of stuff. But the main reason for that is, with all the tariffs that happened, we had to strategically order product. So we didn't necessarily know what we would have for our fall catalog because of when we needed to order. With that being said, we are also switching to new branding items. So if you go to SFR in a couple weeks, or if you don't go, if you watch virtual, or if you can't watch virtual, you'll see us posting. But scentsy is completely rebranding. We're rebranding the look of our warmers, our logo, our bars, everything. Amy, I think this is the 3rd time we've rebranded, I think, since we've been around. Does that sound right? ish, second. Okay.
I
Um,
feel like it's just the second major one.
yeah, probably the second major one. And before we just kind of like went to the new and there was no transition. And so I think what Scentsy was wanting to do is they wanted to bring out the new branded stuff as soon as they can. But if they had a set locked catalog from August to February, then whatever's in that catalog is what we're going to sell. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but they want to trickle all the new branding stuff along the way. So if it's more of a digital catalog and we'll have digital marketing tools, then as the new stuff comes here from China or comes here from other places, or we're trying to make a lot more of our stuff too in house. But as things come through, we can add that to the online catalog, right? And so we're not locked in to the same stuff for 6 months. Right. So I hope that makes sense. So because of the more digital catalog, and they'll be able to, as stuff comes over, as we have stuff made, they're gonna have to be added in news article. Hey, look at all the new branded stuff added to your digital catalog, that kind of stuff. And so it doesn't tie us down to the same products for 6 months, right? Now, I know a lot of the new things are going to come out in September and October. And you guys, there is some really, 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 really cool stuff. Some new concepts, some new products. And so, because we aren't set on this catalog with the same stuff that starts August, or let's see, I keep saying August. Is that right? July, August, September,
September.
August, right?
New
Which
catalog should be September 1st.
September 1st. August is 10%. August is usually 10%. Yes. So we're not locked in for the same stuff for 6 months. All right. So I want to also put this in perspective too. When I was just at the airport, um, the last time we were there, I guess it was for Cancun, when we were ordering, we just scan a QR code to see the menu. No one brought us a menu to look at, right? QR codes are kind of the future. And so you guys will have QR codes for the new catalog. You can text your customers. You will be able to get the printed 16-page catalog. Just know things will change and change and change. So on all the catalogs you do purchase, you're going to want to put a QR code, which Cynthia, I'm assuming is going to put on there, a QR code for the actual catalog online link, because it could change from month to month with new branded stuff, new product, that kind of thing. So Amy, I don't know, did I explain that decently?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the fact that prices could have to change too, depending on what the tariff situation is doing. So they couldn't actually just lock us in at something. Because I think the rate that, like, when the catalogs were needing to be printed,
Was
the rate was going to be really high. And then maybe they've dropped since then. So, like, it's all just out of our control. So they tried to figure out a way to do it that would work.
Yes, and they don't want us to lose money. They don't want them to lose money. And so by doing it this way, like Amy said too, I mean, the tariffs at that point were like 130 or something percent. Well, they're not going to put catalog prices for that because they knew it was going to go down, right? Or hopefully it was going to go down. And so I think the way they're doing it, it's thinking futuristic. Scan the QR, scan the digital catalogs with everything on an app or a scan away. It shouldn't necessarily hurt your business. I will say they are going to give us a lot of tools. They call them something, Amy, and I can't remember the name of it. It was um, like storybook flyers, one look flyers. There was a name for it where like they're going to have flyers we can print with like what this woman looks like in your house and different things we can put with the digital QR code to put in our bag parties. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. What I
Look,
was
look,
one thing,
look.
a lookbook. Thank
Yes,
you. One thing I was thinking too, and we will definitely cover this like
yes.
in August after we get back from SFR and we have all the details. But one thing I was thinking was if it's just a small catalog, I wonder if they'll still do like product lists, like what we currently have, like a big list we can print, because we could just take that, print it, and put it in.
Yep.
We'll figure out what we have to do. It'll be
Yeah.
different.
Yes, and Patty just said R3 hasn't had a lot of printed materials. R1 has had, so kind of used to it. Gonna need a lot of ink for our printers. Yes, yes, that is true. And like we have one here that it's called Kinko's that you can send stuff, and it's super cheap. I mean, it's like 5 cents a page, which I say super cheap, but I guess you'd have to add on. It'd be about 60 cents a cat. I mean, probably about what you pay for catalogs, right? But they'll bind them and all that for you. But yeah, I think that when I think about my bag parties, a lot of times people leave these catalogs in there. So for me, I might do a bunch of lookbooks and print out a couple of the 16-page catalogs for my bag parties. But honestly, unless it's a home party, I don't hand out a lot of catalogs anymore. A lot of times I'm sending my link to people. Like today, I
Mhm.
sent my link to 3 people because I was following up with orders. How's your order? Do you need to order on my Scentsy Connect app? And 2 people had asked for the link for the new sale that I posted about with the rainbow warmer. And then someone else, well, they're returning a warmer because it quit working. So she asked me to send her a link for the $35 warmers. Anyways, a lot of people is just sending your links. So I think it's going to be really important, which we'll cover later, but to have the digital QR code on your phone that you can just easily send to people. You also have a QR code on your Scentsy Connect app that I'm assuming will link right to the digital catalog that Cynthia's going to put out. So we'll go over all this. Don't stress. I really think that it is futuristic thinking. I think that the old school in me wants to have my hands on something that I can look at and have and read. And I know some of you guys are like that. So we'll still have those kind of things for people, for you and for me. But I think that like 75% of people could probably care less. They just want your link. And I think it's really cool that we can be evolving each month with the new stuff.
I was just wanting to add one more thing. So Julie said, like, my poor seniors, and I mean, definitely, there are some people who just really want that paper catalog, and we are all have some customers probably like that. Some people, like some of us, will have a higher demographic of older people or people who just want to have the paper than others, and everybody's business is different.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at your customer situation, maybe it's not that you have to print off something for everybody. Maybe there's just a few choice customers that you end up needing to print for. So you may not have to print for every single person, even if you are printing.
Yeah, Amy, that's such a great point because I do have all my customers too. I do have some old school ones that I know when new catalogs come out, they love. I email the showcase brochures just because they're cheaper. And so I do know a few of them will still want something. So I'll figure it out when it comes out, but I'll probably just send them, have so many of the 16-page printed ones for my bag parties, and then send a few of those. But then the majority, I think, will be fine with the link, hopefully. So. All right, Amy, do you have any of your back party out you want to share with them?
I'm going to show you, but I just did it in March. So I'm going to show you and then we can move to Kathy. But
Okay,
I have links for things in the Facebook group already. And so I'll try to like bump those up or something. But this is my bag. It's clear so that, if they're taking it to work or church or wherever, it's like, oh, what do you have there? And then I didn't create this, somebody else did this, but I have them all in these cases because I like to give all of them. I do have things like this. This is last year's leftover, the scents that came back. Like Jack said, you don't have to have all of them. This is the ones that came back. I've dropped this off with just catalogs and order forms at a business. It's nothing fancy at all, and it's okay because it still works. But I have these cases with different categories, and only a certain number fit. So there's like a couple of them that I have double of. But anyway, I have all that somewhere in our Mindset Monday Facebook group. So I'll just bump it. I also like to give samples so that the host feels like she has a reason to tell people that she has stuff, or it's like an icebreaker for them. And so like this is just, I think it's counter clean. It might be all purpose. I think this is counter clean, but I give them that so they can start conversations. And then whoever, again, somebody made this up and I don't know who you are, but I love this because this goes right here inside my clear case so it stands out. And then this is like basically my host coaching stuff. I need to update it with some of the new stuff, but it's my host coaching. That's all it is. It's not even laminated because who cares? I'll print another one. It doesn't look professional. I don't have a laminator. And then order form showing what the information is that I really need. And then I've just been doing 2 catalogs. That's it. Because I figure they can share and that's that. That's all. Um, that's legit all. So
I love it.
Kathy,
And
here.
you said you're going to send us, you'll put links for your bag and all that on Mindset.
I don't know if I have the bag, but like the cases and the
Okay.
Canva that I use to like make them, they're all in there and it tells you what
The bag
size to
from
print.
Amazon?
The bags, I think I got them like in a 5 pack or something.
They're
They
so
may be
cool.
listed. I'll look again.
I love the idea of clear see-through with your samples right on the side of it where people see. Because mine, I mean, you can look in and see, you can look in and I didn't put my samples in there. I don't know why. But I love that look, Amy. So yeah, if you'll post them, that's great.
Okay.
I love it. Someone said separate cases for samples. What a great idea. I like them too. All right, Kathy, would you like to share your?
Sure. Mine is more along the lines of something that's even smaller than that. Um, there was a time when we were in COVID where we had to like mail everything, including our parties. And I threw one together today. I didn't have one on hand, but I threw one together today that, and I was actually looking for just a clear bag that's like a mailable envelope, that's plasticky that you can like, put your, it's the kind of clear plastic bag that you might put your tax return in and save it and, just file it away. But you can mail something like that. But I looked in my closet and yes, yeah, like that. But I looked in my closet and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this bank bag in there. It's a Scentsy bank bag. I've had it for a long time. And so I went ahead and threw together one that I'd done like I'd done in the past. And what do I put in it? Like a couple of catalogs, like, and next time it will be, I guess, these other kinds of catalogs. I'm not excited about that, I'm going to have to say for the record, but I will figure a way to pivot. I also put some order sheets. Um, Not everybody likes to use order sheets. I know that they're trying to get away from stuff like this, but I still use them. I'm a little old school, and it just makes it clear for people so that they know how to order. Of course, they could write it down on a spiral notepad, and I could still put the order in, um and it would all turn out okay. But or they could rip these apart and share them, and then you've got more order forms. And I have done like Amy has done and highlighted the information that I really needed. Um, for the host doing something like this, I'll throw in a scent circle and just say, just keep it. It's for you. I want you to hang this in your car, and it's going to make her think about me next time she gets in the car. Um, because this is so much smaller, you can't do a lot of testers. So, we get these bag of 10 testers. That's just our new scent. You throw something like that in there. It's got a great variety, and it's just the perfect size. Now, when I've been mailing some, Scentsy makes some envelopes that are just about that big. They're Ziploc envelopes, and you can put exactly 9 testers in. They fit really tight and flat, and you can mail that easy. Then, of course, we all have some little samples laying around. I do my samples a little bit differently than Amy. I still like to dip them in the felt, and then we've got the little stickers that go on there. And if I have any left over from each scent of the month, I save those and I put them inside one of these fishing tackle boxes so that I've got more samples for later. And then so I've got that, and then inside here I still have I might throw in a package of washer whips just so that the host can try them, and then a little sample of counter clean or something like that. So I throw in a couple of little samples just to get the host excited, because when she's excited, she shares it better. And then, of course, a couple of pens so that she's got something to write with. And I don't do join brochures anymore because Jacqueline has now taught me to do the join mints. And so if you throw the join mints in, it's my it's my thought that people get overwhelmed with too much stuff to read. And if there's just too much stuff, then they're not going to be interested. But if you give them this, they're going to keep this, and they're always going to have that information that's on the back of the label and the QR code. So they'll be thinking about it for a lot longer than just the party. So anyway, that's all I got in there. It's very simple. It's very small. It's very inexpensive, and it takes like 2 minutes to put together. I mean, literally, it is just ridiculous how easy it is to put it together. And if you don't have the samples already made up, then don't worry about it. Just do it without the samples. The main thing is to get the testers in their hand, get the catalog in their hand, maybe get the mints in their hand, and an order form, because they just want to smell the new scents. That's that's really all I got. And like I said, during COVID, this size of a party pack was really easy to mail.
Mhm.
And back then we were doing a whole lot of stuff with and calling it a QR code party and all that. That became too much work too. So all that QR code stuff that I was putting on this page and that page, I've gotten away from all of that because it's just way too much work for the consultant if you've got multiple parties going out. But these things, they ship out pretty inexpensive. I know that the rate of postage just went up this month, but think about it if you don't already have pirate ship. Pirate ship is a great way to reduce the cost of shipping, and you should be able to get something like that mailed out for $7 or $8. And but if you're sending something out in the mail, then certainly don't put it in something that's this expensive. Just use those clear plastic things because you're probably not going to want to get all that back. And use your old testers. We all have old testers. And every single time that they do a new transition set of testers, the same ones come back month after or year after year after year. So why not just use the same old testers, put them in the little sleeve that's only got 9 in it and put it in the mail and go. Or, and this is really simple for somebody to carry around with them. So that's all I got.
I love it, Kathy. We are cracking up. Sorry, during your talk, because my 11-year-old comes in here and just moons McKinley while you're talking. She thought it was hilarious. Like the House of Boys, you just never know. I threatened to put the camera on him. He was like, ah! His face turned red and he darted out. But Kathy, thank you for sharing that. I love that a bag party doesn't have to be much. It can be as easy as 10 testers. And I do want to point out, Patty, and I saw Amy commented that as well, that right now with the school supplies, there's tons of pencil containers right now, guys. You could literally go get one for like $1 in the US.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and put together 5 or 6 and then set a goal. Okay, we have 2 weeks left in the month. I'm gonna try to get all these pouch parties out. I'm gonna try to get 2 bag parties. Like now is the time. And like I said, you don't never, I mean, I don't know, Kathy, about you or Amy about you, but a lot of times I get my bag parties because it's just someone that originally plugged that in, just wanted to buy, and then I turned it into more. You don't have to use the word party. You can always just say, hey, I've got some of the new scents together. Would you like me to drop them off at your work and you can smell them and share them with your coworkers and see if there's anything that you want? I know you mentioned that you may need to order soon. You just asked for a party without saying party. So I think too, it's just getting creative. Kathy or Amy, is there any other thing with that you want to share?
I just was thinking, I never thought of it before. And, next month we're transitioning to the fall catalog, so we'll know what's being discontinued. So, like, why can't you just give those away? The ones that are being discontinued, just mail those if you want to, mail those out and just say, keep them.
Yeah. Well,
Because you're never
and
gonna
that's a
get.
perk. You could say, hey, if you'll take a back party to your school, I'll let you keep all the testers in there. You can melt them all. You
Hmm.
just have to I'll mail you a thing. You have to get $250 in orders. If you get 250, then I'll just let you, and like make that as a thing. Then you can keep it all, even though either way, you're probably going to let them keep it because you don't want to have to pay for return shipping. Yeah, smart. Because who else has so many testers in their office that they're like, oh, yes, Michelle. I saw Michelle raise her hand quick. Yes, yes. And so, what a great idea, Amy, is to put together all the ones that are discontinuing, and message your customers. Would you like 15 cents that you could just melt in your warmer? If you take this to work, get $250 in orders, I'll let you keep all the samples in there. Yeah, smart. I give them out each year at our holiday sniff and shop. I love it, Patty. I love it. All right. Anything? I know it's a couple minutes over, but does anyone have anything else that they want to add? Um, I think it's really cool with back parties because you can just make them your own. But again, if you're struggling with sales and you're only posting on social media and you're only texting, get the smells under people's faces. You will sell so much. And it is really cool. Like I think it's really cool just seeing other people light up when they smell stuff. Oh my gosh, I just love this scent. Oh my goodness, this reminds me of my son's whatever first cologne or whatever it is. I think it's really cool to see people light up and get excited about what you get excited about. So get the smells underneath people's faces. I also do want to make sure you guys know that there were two new bundles that were released today. There'll be two more bundles released next Monday, but they're special bundles. So, like for example, the rainbow warmer and the 3 bars were $29.20 US. I know they're different for Canada and Region 3, but in the US, it's worth around close to $80. So that was one of the bundles that was dropped. There was also another bar bundle dropped today. So push those all week and kind of challenge yourself to see how many you can sell. And then on Monday, they will drop some more special bundles. So just keep an eye out for that. And then, yeah, I think, Amy, do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
No. All right.
Hey,
Well,
Jacqueline.
yes.
I was eating a sandwich, but I wanted to throw this out there real quick. The rainbow warmer, I posted it as something along the lines of sponsoring a teacher, and I've sold 3 of them already.
Well, that's cool. So sponsor a teacher.
Sponsor a teacher. It's a lot of moms buying them for their young daughters who are just starting out as teachers and things like that. But I've sold 3 bundles so far.
Man, you know what? That's a brilliant idea too. I mean, too bad this isn't like if school started next week and we knew who our teachers were, but still,
Right.
we could sponsor their future teacher or sponsor
Yeah.
their past teachers. Or I love that.
And they don't even have to know the teacher if they don't, if they just want to
Yeah.
say, hey, I want to sponsor a teacher.
Yeah.
I'll find a teacher who could use it. So
Yeah, and I'll take a picture of them with the bundle and send it to
Yeah.
you when we gift it to them. Yeah.
And it wasn't my
Hey.
idea. I saw somebody else had something simple posted, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to Chat GPT with that one."
That's so great. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tiffany. Are you going to be? Are you going to SFR? No.
Everybody that was supposed to go with me backed out, so no.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you. Will you
I
get to
know.
watch virtual? Or are you gonna live
Yes.
to post? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I had to do that one year. I had to watch virtual when
Yeah.
our sons had a World Series during that week, and like at one point I was in the stands like crying as I'm watching like the new product reveal, and one of the moms like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes, but this product is so amazing," and so you'll still get a good experience watching it virtually. I'm glad you'll get to do that at least. So awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Anyone else have any last things they want to share? If not, we will reconvene next Monday. Awesome. I'll get this uploaded. I think Amy already pushed to the top her stuff for her back party. I'll post pictures of mine and I'll put the links for the totes in the comments so that way you guys will see. But thank you guys for getting on tonight. We appreciate you. I hope that you got some nuggets to use for this week and the rest of the month. And we will see you on Monday. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.